All right. All right. Welcome to the Movie Tweaker podcast, episode 11. We haven't done one in I think it's been about 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe, somewhere around there. But we're
Mhm.
doing one today. With the gaming podcast, that's my number one priority because people get mad if I don't do that one. I like, I like doing this one a lot. But I mean, if the only time I have for a podcast, it has to go to the gaming podcast with work and everything. But we're doing one tonight. We're going to be talking now. I have to say too, every past one we've been doing lately has been really good. The videos are doing really good, so I'm pretty proud of this podcast. It's just a shame I just can't do it every week like I want to. But other than that, we're going to start off not exactly talking right into Fear of the Walking Dead, but I want to talk a little bit more about season 6 finale of the Walking Dead, the regular one. Just about some of the videos that I've been seeing on the internet, about who did Negan kill. Like, I mean, I've seen different videos of people doing the whole eeny, meeny, miny, mo thing, but that don't really count because he went out of order. He cheated, Negan. I've seen people do, oh, well, look at the tree in the back of by the camper, and it's directed at this way, and it has to be this way. All kinds of crazy shit. But I think I'm staying with Abraham, my original pick. I have seen a few videos of why it would be Abraham, and I have to say I agree with them. There's some, like, certain scenes of the finale where you'll see, like, this one scene where they're all basically standing in the road, and there's like a rose over Abraham's head, and somebody said they wouldn't have left that in there. If it was the town's graffiti, they would have went over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they wouldn't have left that in there. They had that in there for a reason, and that symbol means something in a song about being. I believe it. I don't quote me on this, but I believe it goes along the lines of something like being on your knees and all kinds of stuff. But just how Abraham, like, bowed up and, he kind of, like, taunted Negan, I could see him taking one for the team. Like, maybe when they actually do show the, season 7, if they're going to start it off with that, or they're going to make us wait 3 episodes, because there's a rumor that they're basically going to, hold off 3 episodes before we see who got their head cracked in. And you might see Abraham just basically jumping up and taking one. Because I think, in my opinion, I think Negan seen Abraham as a threat because he can basically keep everybody else, he's seen everybody else was like kind of like gonna listen to what he's gonna do, but Abraham, he just basically bowed up. And one thing I found interesting, somebody did a video with if you notice, most of the characters in that scene had their hair above their like over their eyes, like Daryl and a lot of other ones. But see, with certain characters, you didn't have nothing between their eyes, and how the camera angles work can only leave so many characters open. So I mean, it really, in my opinion, I have to go with Abraham. But I mean, they could follow the comics. It could be Glenn. You never know. I mean, they could just stick the storyline, but I don't know. I mean, what do you think, Daniel? Oh, wait, my bad too. How's it going, Daniel? I didn't even do the introductions.
It's going really good. It's great to be back.
Glad to have you, man. Glad we can do it tonight. How's it going, Frozen Magma?
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Oh, anytime, man. Yeah, I forgot the introductions. But Daniel, what do you think of this whole Negan thing about him, like, basically the whole internet up in arms, pretty pissed off? Some people claiming that they're not going to watch The Walking Dead no more. And who do you think it is? Are you still sticking with your original pick, or did you change it?
No, I'm still with Abraham, that it's him. Or it could be Glenn, but technically I think it's Abraham. All this hate going on, and I mean, it's been 3 weeks since Walking Dead finished, and yet people are still talking. And even on Facebook, when Fear the Walking Dead recap comes on, they're still talking about, like, Walking Dead season 6 finale and Negan and who they killed and stuff like that. And it's stupid how they'd say they stopped watching a show just for that reason, and they are going to open up with the person who dies from Negan. They already confirmed that. Like that's
Oh,
going to
okay,
open
so
right
they're not
away.
making us wait fucking forever.
No, they're not
Okay,
going to do
that
that.
was a rumor going around, and once I heard that, and you know, it's funny. I could see them doing that. I could see them focusing on Carol with the kingdom. I could see them
Yeah.
focusing on Alexandria the next episode, and then that. But thank God they're not going to do that. That'd be
Right.
a load of crap.
Mhm.
So you're sticking with Abraham, right?
Right.
Okay, and what makes you, one more time, give us a rundown why you think it was Abraham.
Because he he looked Negan right in the eyes and he didn't show fear, and of course that's another example to set to his men not to stand up to him. Also because I just can't see it, if you're waiting 6-7 months to wait, I don't want it to be Eugene or some like B character. I mean, Abraham is a B character, like a side character, but he's like happy. He wants to be with Sasha. They're talking about having a baby and everything, and it's a perfect time to snatch that hope away. And like Sasha will be depressed, all that stuff. So it's a perfect death because Rick cares about Abraham. They've grown to love. He's a helping hand, and once you lose that helping hand and like force of the group, the force gets more weak of the group.
Well, see, some people are saying that Negan winked at Abraham. Did you see that?
Who, Negan?
Yeah, he like kind of like winked at him or something. Did you see that?
I know he winked at somebody. I'm not sure if it was Abraham, but probably.
Some people are saying it was Abraham. I'd have to watch it again to see for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, the one thing I heard on I seen Daryl. Basically the guy plays Daryl. He was doing an interview, and what's his name, Norman Reedus or something.
Yeah.
Okay. He was doing an interview with I forgot who, and he basically confirmed it's a big character. It's not a little peon character. He said it's somebody big, and whoever it was basically had the whole set up in tears. Like basically they're all crying and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It can't be a little character, and I consider Abraham a bigger character. That's just me. I think he's like a mixture, but I say he is a big character. I do think he's a big character. I think he would make a lot more of an impact dying than Eugene.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me. What about you, Frozen? What do you think?
I haven't really thought about it too much. It would have to be between Abraham, Glenn, or maybe Daryl. But then again, they haven't done anything with Daryl, so it's like it would have to be between those three, in my opinion. But I can't see him killing off Maggie or anyone else like that.
No, not Maggie. But there was one thing I forgot to say too. Did you guys see the whole thing about Aaron? The picture with Aaron with a Daryl? No, Daryl's in the picture, and behind him is a dummy of Aaron with a cracked head. Did you see that?
Yeah.
What do you think of that? I heard they're taking that down. AMC, they took it down right away. What did you think of that?
I don't think that it really hints at anything. I mean, it could, but I'm pretty sure, they make molds of everybody's heads multiple times for the actors. I'm pretty sure it's just a molding of his head. Because I know Norman Reedus has multiple like moldings and like a structure of his head that's cracked and everything too, or like decapitated, like just for fun. I know like he's cheesed stuff like that too, but doesn't mean he's going to be the one that gets the bat and all that. So, and also I'd be disappointed if it was Aaron waiting like 6 or 7 months just for him to die. That wouldn't be. It wouldn't be worth the wait if that was just.
So
that wouldn't be a big
want a big
loss.
character dead. You wouldn't be. I mean, so you want a big character to die, right?
Yeah, I want.
Okay. Who would you, if you had to, let's change it up here a little bit. If you had to pick, who would you want to die out of the ones that were on the ground? Daniel.
Daryl.
You don't care for Daryl?
No, I care. I like Norman Reedus, but it'll be a big change to the show.
Yeah, okay, okay. What about you, Frozen?
Still thinking. I think maybe I would choose probably Glenn.
Okay, okay. I'd have to go with out of all of them, I would say Glenn too, because I don't really. It's not I don't like Glenn. It's just I don't like where his like.
Do you really think that they keep him alive, keep him, kill him after pretending to kill him before? Like I don't see them doing that again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only thing is, this is the only thing. In the comics, Glenn dies. Okay. You got Maggie that goes like spoiler alert, spoiler alert. You know, if anybody wants to get spoiled and cry about it in the comment section. In the comics, Glenn dies. And basically, after that, Maggie gets really upset with Rick and ends up going to the hilltop. Now, they'd have to rewrite a bunch of story to change all this. You know what I'm saying? The only one they wouldn't have to rewrite any story if they killed him because he's not a part of the comics is Daryl. Daryl, they could kill and the story goes, well, I mean, the story would have to change a little bit because Glenn didn't die. You know, with Glenn dying, that's where the story kind of goes. So they have to change the story up if it isn't Glenn. You know, Abraham in the comics already dead before that, so him dying wouldn't hurt the. You know, it would have to be one of them: Abraham, Daryl, or Glenn. But I would say if they don't want to change too much of the story, it would have to be Glenn. Wouldn't you think so, Daniel?
Again, they don't have to be like to the source material whatsoever. I mean, I would say Daryl because it'd just be a bigger shock, and if they already had the balls to end it on a cliffhanger, then all this hate and like death threats going to Scott Gimple, the producer, they could definitely just kill off Daryl and even have more, showing that that the I don't know, like the fans don't control the show. Obviously, that no one's safe. Obviously, I mean, I would love Glenn to die from the, it would be a homage to the comics, but then again, it would be predictable for the 7 months, and it's sort of just Daryl because it would be more of a shock. Rick sees Daryl as his brother, sort of like that way. They're more close. But either way, Abraham, Glenn, or Daryl, whoever dies, I mean, it'd be sad, and I wouldn't want any of them to die, but I'd say still like Daryl.
You know what they could do? They could make it up to us and give us two head bashings, kill fucking Daryl, and then bash Glenn's head in later on, and then get Maggie upset, follow the story. There you go. Get to see
well, what I heard, what I heard is it's a rumor. They haven't started filming until like next week or this week. But it would be a cool idea if his Negan bashes in Daryl's head, but not enough to where like he turns into a zombie again, and then he keeps on bashing his body or his brain again, and then he comes back to life again, like keeps him as a zombie basically, and like that basically, like where the group just keeps on watching Daryl reanimate and he beats him and beats him. So that'd be something interesting.
Huh, I don't know. I mean, Daryl, the only thing with Daryl, man, these fans love him. Like, I'm talking, like, there's old women calling him.
He has his own show coming out called Ride with Norman Reedus.
What?
Yeah.
He has his own show, like his own show.
Oh, no, he has a motorcycle show where he drives around with, and it looks, I mean, let me just say it here. That looks fucking stupid. Like, he's riding around looking at, he's like, oh, wow, everybody, look at this. This is beautiful. I was waiting to see the previews last night. I was like, what the hell is this? Like, I don't know. I mean, let me take, did you guys ever see the movie Deuces Wild?
No.
Okay, Daryl's like a main bad guy in that movie. It's a really good movie. It's called Deuces Wild, and it's basically about, gangs in New York. Basically about gangs in New York, and he has to fight. Like, basically what happens is the one dude basically went to jail. He thinks Daryl, the guy that plays, he's playing a character. Daryl's character thinks that this guy set him up, and he gets out of jail and he's going after this guy. And the guy really didn't. I don't think the guy put him in jail, or maybe he did. I can't remember. But they have a big fight at the end. It's really cool. It's like basically like an Outsiders type movie, like Greasers versus something like that, something similar to that. It was a really good movie. He's been in a few movies. He's a good actor,
Mm-hmm.
But Walking Dead's his main breakthrough, and I mean, you got old women that love that guy. They're calling and wanting to marry him. So I don't know. I think the show would hurt some viewers if he did fly off. If they did kill him off. But who knows? I don't know. But yeah, I just seen so many different videos of people trying to pinpoint where he is, where Negan was standing, and where he aimed the camera. But the one thing is interesting, how the hair was over people's eyes, and how certain characters didn't have hair over his eyes. So if they're going by the character's vision, it's definitely not Glenn. Definitely not. Just look at all the characters with their eyes, and I'll single them out. And Abraham really was one that basically didn't have hair over his eyes. But I mean, I just find it crazy how many videos are over this whole thing. You can tell people really want to know. But I thought it was a great episode. I loved it. And in season 7, I guess there's a tiger confirmed. They're gonna bring the tiger.
Yeah.
They're gonna do that.
I wonder how they're gonna do that. That's gonna be
Did
interesting.
you hear that?
Yeah, they're already casting for the Tiger's Master, which is Ezekiel. He's gonna appear in episode 3, actually, because that's where they're casting him for. But the way, if they do the Tiger, they could do CGI technically, but I'm assuming that they don't have enough money to make it look like enough to spend all the money on that CGI. That'd be too much. They would have to use a practical, mechanical tiger, or else use a real tiger in some shots, which is even more money. So I don't know how they'll end up doing that. I would wait for the tiger maybe to the finale, they just show the guy and then he gets the tiger or something. If they end up doing the Shiva, the tiger.
Yeah, but you think the Walking Dead's hurting on some money, where they can't pony money for the CGI?
Well, to do it every episode, sort of thing. I mean.
Well, they don't have to do it every episode. They could just do. I mean, how much? I mean, they don't have. I mean, they just have to put it in there. They don't have to go crazy with it. But I mean,
Right.
I don't see Andrew Lincoln walking near a tiger, and I mean, it's gonna have to be mechanical or CGI. I just don't see them pulling that off.
Right.
Because you're risking people's lives and shit. I mean, I'm sure they.
Unless it's a trained tiger.
Huh?
Unless it's a trained tiger.
I'll tell you one thing: a trained tiger or non-trained tiger, some people aren't going to risk that. They've
Right.
attacked many people. I don't think an A1 actor like some of these guys are going to stand next to a live tiger just for the Walking Dead. I mean, would you get in a cage with a trained tiger, Daniel?
What was that?
Would you get in a cage with a trained tiger?
No. No.
Okay. What about you, Frozen? Would you do the trained tiger in the cage?
Oh, if the trainer was there with me.
Yeah, and they can't. How are they going to do it with that? Are they going to block him out of the shot somehow? I mean, I don't know.
Mhm.
But just wanted to go over that. Yeah, the internet's up in arms still over the whole Negan, Lucille
I'm not watching it anymore. When they're gonna watch it.
Oh yeah, anybody saying they're not going to watch it. The only thing I could see people turning off from the show, if they, some of these people really like Daryl and their favorite characters going, they might not give a shit about it. That does happen. I will say that. That is true. Because I've stopped watching shows, in the past when I can't, when certain things have happened like that, it pisses you off in a way. And then I ended up going back and watching it later on, but it does aggravate people. All right. let's not jump right into the Fear of the Walking Dead yet. Let's talk a little bit about Arrow. I want to talk about the whole thing going on with the Black Canary. All right.
Make sure to put the spoiler tag because people are gonna get mad.
Oh yeah, let me put the spoiler in here. Hold on, people might go nuts. But you watched it, Daniel, and Frozen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Uh, but yeah, what did you think of the recent episode of Arrow? Let's just briefly talk about it, I guess, with, let me write this. There we go. People will go nuts. But what did you think of Arrow so far, Daniel?
For all of season 4 so far?
Yeah, let's just talk general about season 4 right now.
Yeah, it's a good season. It's not great, but you know, having Damien Dark as the villain, it's really good. He's a really good villain. I'm not too happy on the flashbacks though. Like the flashbacks are probably the most like cheesiest, like bad acted parts of the show. I'm really getting tired. Like, hopefully after the 5th season they're done with the flashbacks and he's off the island and no more flashbacks. But yeah, I mean, it's been great to see Black Canary and Team Arrow fighting a lot of different threats. The past few episodes, with Felicity has been getting annoying with specifically, her really being a dick towards Oliver. That's kind of the things that bring me down about the show, how she mistreats him so much this season. Which Oliver is a good guy and she's turning him down so much, so that's sort of a bummer. Other than that, the choreography does get annoying sometimes, honestly, during this season with the fighting. Sometimes it's just the same old in a warehouse or something and bullets flying and it's the same stuff all the time. But Diggle and his brother, those are interesting things. Diggle and Oliver have probably the most best chemistry and best scenes this season where they're just going at it and there's emotion going on. I love that about them. So far, again, it's been a good episode. The last episode, I believe, was around the Black Canary stuff. That really was an emotional episode, and I mean, feel bad for Lance, Captain Lance. So yeah, it's a good show so far. Good season.
All right, what about you, Frozen? Do you like Arrow season 4 so far?
Yeah, I like it. It's pretty. I really enjoy the season a lot. I just don't like all the breaks that they're taking, but I know that's just the CW. That's not Arrow. Kind of pissed me off the last episode because Laura was my favorite character as far as her development. Like I really enjoyed her in season 3, and then they kind of just like killed her off. But I figure as we go on, as we move forward on with this topic, there's ways that she can be replaced or brought back or stuff like that.
Yeah, they.
And also there are people saying we're not watching the show anymore, and they're gonna watch it. There are people doing that with this show too.
I mean, people are so full of shit. You just got the same bitches, just like how gaming is, how people cry about every fucking game that comes out. It's marked for death because people are gonna find something bad about it, and yell. It's everything with the internet. It's mainly the internet is just like a tool for people to cry about something they want to cry about, no matter what it is, and it gets old after a while. But Arrow's an amazing show. I think it's cool. I know it's not like the biggest budget show, but people seem to forget. There's movies and there's TV shows. TV shows have always been down here. Now, TV shows over time have gotten more popular where they're becoming like movies and more of a focus than movies because movies' scripts are so shitty that people don't want to watch them and they'd rather watch TV shows because they can tell better stories. But, even after all that, it's still a TV show versus a movie. A movie has a bigger budget, everything. Movies on top, TV shows on the bottom. So that's what you have to deal with. It's low budget most of the time. Unless you're going into like Game of Thrones shit that's like damn near looks like better than some movies out there. Like Game of Thrones is fucking awesome. Period. But
Agreed.
it's Game of Thrones. But going back to the whole thing with Arrow season 4, I basically like the villain. I think Damien Dark's awesome. But I was one that pretty much liked all the villains. I like Ra's al Ghul, and I like the whole show. Period. Um, uh, Felicity, I do see where Daniel's talking about. She does get annoying, but I think that's just her character. I think I hate to say it, she's just playing her part probably really good. Like, that's just how they want her to play her, play that part, annoying. And that's more of like I would say they need to do work on something like that if it's bothering everybody. I don't think it's her fault, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I know some people like Felicity, so I don't know. But I hope they don't turn her into like the Black Canary or something. I think she's
I think they already said that they weren't going to do that. with
well.
her.
I watched some videos where some guy was freaking out. He could see them like programming a chip in her back so she learns karate and all this shit. I mean, I don't
That's
know.
severe reach right there. I don't know who's.
Yeah, like something, but I don't know. But yeah, this season so far it's pretty good. I'm with Daniel on the flashbacks. I wish they'd just stop them. I like them and I don't like them. I just find them kind of like you get into the show and then all of a sudden a flashback, and I'm like, come on. I mean, I just kind of throws the show off. I think that shit kind of makes it hard for new new viewers to get into the show with these flashbacks all the time, because I like my mom, she started watching, she's like, what the hell's this? Like, it just flashes back to something. But I don't know, I think they should I don't see them doing away with the flashbacks, because I think I mean, unless they confirm they're not going to do them no more, period. I can see them doing flashbacks on other characters, just
Way
not
more with earlier seasons. Flashbacks. There was a lot more in the first season.
Yeah. But yeah, so far so good. I like Diggle's brother. I think they picked a good person for that. Who I wish they'd turn into like the new Canary, Ra's al Ghul's daughter. I think that'd be a good choice, but I don't know. I like her character a lot. But all right, let's go into the whole thing with the Black Canary dying. What do you think of it, Daniel?
Yeah, for her death, that was I got spoiled by it the night before, or I don't know whether I saw it the day after the night of it, like a few hours later. But I got spoiled by Facebook by that, and I mean, with the scene, you could tell somebody's death was coming when they were in that prison scene, so it was kind of coming already. But I was sad. I mean, Laurel was annoying over the years, and I like the actress. I do like Laurel, the character, but at times she did get annoying, or she didn't have really not like season 2 really not much to do or something like that. And now, right when I'm getting really into her character and I love her in that suit and everything, they finally kill her. Like, they kill her. It's sad because you could have took Felicity, and you could have kept Laurel, or you could have took Fia and you could have kept Laurel, or your Diggle's wife. You could have took any other girl, but you could have kept Laurel, which that's just it sucks. The whole hospital scene too, because I guess she just died in the because Oliver was in the room when she died, which that means nobody came in and killed her, all that. So, but she did say something to him that will be revealed in season 5. So I have no idea what she said to him, but yeah, I think it is great to see a death finally happen, because she's not coming back. Wise as in the pit's already gone to revive people, so it's sad to see her go, but she was awesome as the Black Canary. Definitely, I liked her better than Sarah in the Black Canary suit.
Well, hold on. What you said,
Huh?
you said the pit's not around to revive people, but look how Oliver was revived when he got stabbed by Ra's al Ghul and thrown off of cliff.
Right.
So I never understood that. How they bring him back?
He didn't die. I don't think
A
he
lot
died.
of
I think he just got lucky.
bad writing.
He just hit the right tree branch on the way down, right? And it miss his heart?
Yeah,
Where
then
did it stab him?
the girl helped him up, his friend.
I mean, I thought she had done some, the one chick, she did some, powers, or did something, some kind of remedy or something, brought him back to life. But who knows? I don't know. I was a little lost on that when that happened. But go on, Daniel.
Oh yeah. No, I think the producers did say she ain't getting revived. That's it. Like, because usually in the superhero TV show, someone dies, they come back. Someone dies, they come back. Uh, she's definitely dead for the rest of season 4 at least. But I don't see her come. Like, they already buried her in the thing. Isn't that's her grave? So they already buried her. I don't think they're gonna do another Sarah where they unbury her and bring her back. She's gone. But I know the actress is reprising her role as Laurel Lance in The Flash, Earth 2 version. But doesn't mean she's going to be, back as a Black Canary and all that. But they did confirm that Oliver will meet Laurel Lance Earth 2 version.
Why?
So
Oh, but wait a second. Hold on. Why are they confirming all this? Like, why are they ruining shit? Like, I don't understand that. Like, can people just not wait at all no more? Like,
yeah,
I mean, why do people want to be spoiled? Like, I mean, what do you think? What do you guys think?
I don't like it. I think they should hold it down and not reveal information from 4 episodes away, stuff like that. They should keep
I
it.
mean, what's the fun in, like? I mean, it's cool to see it happen, but they just killed like, they just killed it right there. It's like almost like them revealing Walter White, what's going to happen at the end of Breaking Bad. Like, that'd be crazy, before that happened. I mean, I don't know. It seems like people just want to be spoiled, and sometimes I can't really blame the film studios and TV show studios for spoiling shit because people want it anyways. No.
Right.
But go on, Daniel. I just had to ask that question.
Yeah, we're just talking about her death, right? That's about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is sad about her death. I really liked her, and she was awesome in that suit, and the suit is awesome itself. Like I said, I think she is better than Sarah. I like Sarah in Legends of Tomorrow and everything. She's a character good on her own, but as the Black Canary taking over that role and doing the Canary Cry and all that was just so awesome. But they gave her, I think, a good last episode of fighting, and they did emotional stuff with Oliver and showed the picture and everything. So it was a good send-off at least, and it just adds more story for the upcoming season, obviously. But again, it was sad. Again, we'll see her in Flash season 2 for 1 episode probably, or I don't know if it's this season or in the season 3. But again, I wish they could have took somebody else, but they took that. That's going to be a big blow to Team Arrow, obviously, and Damien Dark's going to pay for it. That gives them even more motive to just kill him. Don't arrest him. Don't lock him up. Just kill him.
Yeah. Well, going back to Laurel, the only problem I have with Laurel the Canary, the Black Canary, is I don't like her nightsticks. I wish they could have done something different there. Like that.
Mhm.
That's the only thing. Other than that, it's pretty cool. What do
Yeah.
you think of the whole death with the Black Canary frozen?
They did a good job with it. Very emotional episode. Um, we still don't know what she said to him in the hospital room because that was blurted out. I could see them at point hinting towards them killing Diggle, but at the same time, people were trying to say they're trying to kill Thea, but she died last season and they brought her back. I can still see them kind of bringing her back, through Earth 2, because on Earth 2 she's a Black Siren. She actually has powers. She's actually metahuman. So, or they could just add someone else to the team, like Nixon, or Huntress. She could come back, or maybe some other character that was introduced.
Yeah, the Huntress is pretty cool. I like the Huntress. The only thing with The only thing with the only thing I don't like with Felicity, like I don't mind Felicity, but going back to Felicity, I don't like how they made her and Oliver have a thing. I just don't see that going down. So that was a little bit of a a weird storyline. I don't know why they did that. I mean, you could see him with Laurel, you could see him with the Huntress, but Felicity, I don't know. They should just kept him always kind of thinking she's like this, kind of like a good friend or something. But she always kind of liked Oliver. I don't know. They shouldn't have had them get together. I don't know about that. Uh, but it is what it is. It seems like Oliver's just banging everybody. But and I don't know do I think they picked the right person to kill? I don't know. I think I like Laurel a little bit more than. Do you like Thea? What do you think about Thea? Dan.
Me, no, I'm not a big fan of the. I don't know why. I just the actress herself kind of is just there for me. Uh, they did. Then they resurrected her. Obviously, I thought when they killed her last season or something, they should have just kept her dead instead of doing the Lazarus Pit. But the whole because Malcolm and her are getting old already. Like I love the actor who plays Malcolm and everything, but he's been on since season 1. I mean, it's time to, they should have killed Malcolm or somebody. Take him off already. It's time to, get him out of there and do something else. But Thea's annoying. She's just, she acts like, well, I don't even know her actual age, like the character's age, but I don't know. She acts like she's like 35 or something. The way she plays her role, and it's just kind of annoying. She's just like an annoying character, just like
What
Felicity's worse, but Thea was there.
what's going on with the whole Roy thing? Do you think he's going to make a transition back, or what's
No.
going on with Roy?
No, I do think Roy could come back.
I liked him better than Thea, in my opinion. He should have stayed Arsenal instead of Thea.
Yeah, I mean, Roy at first I didn't like him too much. I think he's a little better now. But I mean, I don't know. Thea just I think it's the storyline that I think it's the writers that are making these characters annoying. I don't think it's their bad actors or anything. I just think it's the storyline. Well, there was one thing I heard the main. I don't know if Daniel told me this or somebody told me this, or I forgot where exactly I heard it. But basically, they said that this is a long running show, and they said that they didn't plan for this show to go this long. And when a show goes this long, the story gets kind of curvy, like down a windy road. It's just how it is. And you would think, oh well, it's a superhero show, they can do this and that, but they didn't plan on all this being, actually being that successful and doing this good. So that's why you have storylines the way they're going. But other than that, when does it start back up? When is it starting back up?
On Wednesday.
Okay, so we don't have to wait any longer. Okay, so this Wednesday we will find out. We'll probably see the funeral or whatever of the Black Canary, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Yeah, I want to talk about some Arrows. So I want to go into, before we get into Fear of the Walking Dead and some other things. Well, I don't want to go too long tonight. But we're going to Flash right now. Okay, now Flash was really good. I'm finally caught up on Flash and Arrow. The only one I got to start watching now is Legends of Tomorrow and a few other things, but that I'm basically done with the whole. Well, I got to watch Supergirl too, I guess. But I'm caught up on the two that I've been watching for a while, Flash and Arrow. But Flash was pretty damn cool. What went on with that? How do you like Flash season 2 so far? Let's talk about season 2. Frozen, you first.
I liked it, especially the last episode. It turns out that Jay Garrick never really existed. But even though they actually did come out and say that because people were getting mad that they ruined that character, so they kind of actually went out and I think the writers confirmed that Jay Garrick is still around, but that wasn't him. He was just playing a role. And you were just kind of playing with him, and I like the whole Earth 2 stuff. You got to see Killer Frost and the evil side of Earth 2 and stuff like that.
Hmm. What do you think of the whole season? Do you think it's better than season one, or do you like season one better than season two?
I like it better than season one. I just
Hmm.
hope that next season it's just not going to be a speedster as the enemy, because I feel like every season it's just going to be a speedster as the main villain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I
Well,
think they already said that there was going to be a speedster as the villain anyway for next season.
why don't they make? Well, I hope they're going to do something with Grodd, like he comes, because Grodd's one of
Yeah,
Flash's.
Grodd and the other one, the what's his name, King Shark. They need to utilize those guys.
Yeah, I mean they're perfect characters. I like both of them. I love to see Grodd come back with like an army or something. That'd be so cool. uh, but I like Grodd a lot. But I love how they did Zoom. I love how they showed you the backstory of Zoom on how he turned into Zoom. Like they're going pretty dark with Zoom. That's kind of cool. But yeah, season two, I think, in my opinion, is better than the first one. I like the first one too. But what do you think, Daniel, about season two so far of Flash?
Yeah, it's great. It's a great season. I like it better than season one. Also, season one had those few episodes that were a little slow, but with this, I enjoyed mostly every episode. I don't think maybe one or two have been like meh this season. Zoom's been great. Obviously, the actor who plays Zoom, I mean, has to play Hunter Zolomon, and then has to play fake Jay Garrick, or I guess, yeah, fake Jay Garrick most is what he's playing. But that's cool. I mean, again, Harrison Wells has been interesting this season with his daughter, and that whole story arc getting her from Zoom, and then that. Wally West is just sort of he's finally getting on to me, Wally West, but for the past few weeks he's kind of just been down. I'm just like he's just kind of there, and this whole family stuff still going on of all that Joe and all that family stuff. So, but well, I guess we'll see what goes on now. He's moved in with Joe, so that's something interesting to see. The villains this season have been awesome, of course, like from Adam Smasher from the first episode, played by Edge from WWE, and other villains. Really cool effects have been going on. The King Shark episode was awesome. The Grodd episode was awesome. I mean, everything's been great this season, honestly. It's funny, Cisco has been amazing so far with the whole vibe and the reverb and the effects of his powers. So, and again, Zoom, I like Reverse Flash. I like his suit just a tad a little bit better from Zoom's. I just like the whole look of Reverse Flash, but Zoom for sure has been the darkest villain Flash has ever faced. And I mean, obviously, we'll see the real Jay Garrick probably by the end of the season. I think he's the man in the Iron Mask. So that'd be cool to actually see Jay Garrick, be alongside the Flash. But again, Zoom's awesome. I don't know whether the whole last episode thing where he takes the speed and he's all yelling and like that whole reaction when he got Flash's speed was just so amazing. I love how Teddy, I think it's Teddy Sears, his name, how he played it off. That was so cool. So I'm excited to see where I don't want Flash to go on breaks. Like I want it to continuously go, and yeah, so far it's amazing.
All right. Yeah. I would want it. I don't want to take breaks either, but they do it. So
Dave, I gotta ask a question.
yeah.
Who do you think the man in the Iron Mask is?
Well, I watched a video about that, and some people were saying it's Kid Flash. It's actually, it's Wally. What's the name? Wally West. What's the guy's name? The new son of Joe.
Oh, Wally West, yeah.
Yeah, they say it's him in Earth 2, which is Kid Flash. I don't know. That's what somebody said because they said they see it is an African American. I don't know, but you know what I was thinking at first before I looked at the hands or anything. I thought it was like Zoom's doppelganger, which would be the regular Flash in the other world. I thought it was that, but I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to guess with what it is. Definitely somebody important. I knew that from the get go. But what that's what I would think. I think it mean, I looked at the picture. He is African American. You can see, unless I'm blind. I don't know. What do you think, Daniel?
Again, the man in the iron mask. That
Mhm.
guy. I think it's Jay Garrick. I haven't looked at the skin color yet, but where's the real Jay Garrick? I mean, if that
Well,
was
that's
Hunter
what I'm
Dolan,
saying. Yeah, I assume there isn't there a Flash in the world too, like an actual like Flash, just
yeah.
like
But he's older, so way
yeah.
older.
So I don't know. I mean, definitely some, and he keeps like tapping. Like, what is he doing? Morse code or something?
Yeah, because he can't talk.
Yeah. So some like I don't know. I just thought it was weird how they like both people ignored him completely. Like they just didn't
Mhm.
notice he had an iron mask on and he's tapping on the glass. So I don't know. Um, but going back to season two, I thought I was a little disappointed in Flash giving his powers up. I was like, oh no. I was like, he's gonna give his powers up.
Another thing about that is like, how is that? When is he going to get his powers back next episode? Because when Flash shows up at that funeral in Arrow, he has his powers. So I'm like,
Well,
how?
you know what I heard, or some maybe it was you or somebody told me that he's gonna use that serum that the other guy was using. Uh,
Okay.
that he's gonna use that. Like the girl, what the chick was using, but it made her disintegrate, when she was running. So I hope, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I thought it was the dumbest. I thought that was dumb. I thought he would somehow outsmart him to basically, like, what did they think when that happened? Like, oh, I'm just going to give Zoom my powers and he's just going to leave us alone. No, he went right for Flash and started choking him. Like, and then he took, what's her name? Uh, Caitlin took her right away. They can't even do nothing. So that was kind of dumb, but I see how to do it. He definitely earned Wally's trust, but that was dumb. Now they got Cisco to fight Zoom, or I mean, who's gonna help them? They're gonna have to find somebody. But yeah, Flash is great. It's a great show. I really enjoy it. I've watched that and Arrow like back to back to catch up, and I enjoy both of them. I do like Arrow a little bit more. I do like Flash though too, but I just for some reason I've always liked Batman, and I know a lot of people say Arrow's like Batman, and it is, but I think that's cool. But yeah, I like Flash a lot too. But I'm just curious to see what goes on, with the next episodes coming, and I like how they did Zoom's backstory. Another thing, do you think the other Harrison Wells is going to come back? Because he had to go back in time to basically, you know, figure out how to get faster from that Harrison Wells. Do you think he's ever going to make a return?
Probably not.
Okay, so you think he's done?
Yeah, like the one where he went back and he was gonna kill him when he had him locked up. That Harrison Wells, like the one that's already like fake Harrison Wells, Reverse Flash. Uh, I don't know. I mean, now that he knows that he could time travel, I mean, if he finds a way to time travel to the what's it called, the future, since he knows he failed, he could do that, but I don't know. I don't see that happen. I don't see much Reverse Flash anymore. I think they're just going to have the regular Harrison Wells from Earth 2 and continue on with the other stories. I think they're going to like bury that already and move on.
Well, you never know. I mean, I wouldn't count him out. I'll tell you that. But yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about Flash. Let's go into The Walking Dead. Let's talk about Fear of the Walking Dead. Actually, not just The Walking Dead. So Fear of the Walking Dead started up. We're gonna discuss the past three episodes. I actually have to say, just off the rip, it's a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. I definitely think this is a huge improvement from season one. Just like, I mean, that's how The Walking Dead was with season one. It took a couple seasons to get going. I mean, and this one's kind of moving along pretty quick now. Like, I like the story. I think I mean, I don't know, the whole boat thing. I hope they're not out in the ocean the whole damn season, but I mean, I hope they eventually make it to Mexico. But what do you think so far, Frozen, of Fear of the Walk? You've been watching Fear of the Walking Dead, right?
I'm all caught up. I like the show. I
Mm,
think it's getting better. I don't think they're gonna be on the ocean because, like, from the recent episode, they're talking about going somewhere. So maybe you'll see them ending up over there. And I do like how they talked about that whole plane, the plane that landed in the show. So it's like together. So if you've been watching that, it's like kind of like you see who the survivor is.
well, that's the thing. I've watched bits and pieces of that. I didn't know what the hell that was. Because another show I watched, Banshee, did web episodes like that. They call them web episodes, and I thought it was just something they were doing. I didn't know it was going to tie into something, and it did. You know, it actually, and it's, I mean, just going to that part which happened on last night's episode where they cut the rope. That was kind of what's his name? Got all their names right here. I always forget their names. Yes, Strat. He cut the rope. That was like cold-hearted. Like he just went out there and cut the rope. Here's a guy burnt to death. The kid burnt to death. And the woman, and you know, it's bad enough he's letting them like drag along on the side with water, and they're stuck on a little boat. But he cut them in the middle of the ocean. I think what he should have done was say, you know, basically, hey, I'm not gonna let you do this no matter what. You have your chances with the zombie. Take them there, or you know, I'm gonna cut you in the middle of the ocean or something. You know, because that's just that kind of sucked for them. I felt kind of bad for them. What about you, Daniel?
For the whole season so far.
No, just when they cut the you know the basically the survivors from the plane in the middle of the ocean. Like they said, oh yeah, we'll let you drag along the you know the boat, but then he went out and basically cut you know them with a cleaver, cut the.
Right. Yeah, no, that was really messed up. I feel bad, you know, for them, and of course, Madison didn't stop Strand or anything, which I think he would overpower her. Obviously, he has, you know, the knife in his hand. But yeah, I thought that was a great ending. I really, you know, I reacted to it when I filmed it, and I was just, that's very messed up for him to do. I don't think that they're gonna. They'll return because they wouldn't have done this whole flight, the whole flight, you know, 1 minute episode things. They wouldn't have done that just to have them for one episode and then gone. So yeah, I thought that was a great ending. It just shows Strand. I mean, Strand's really not a guy to be trusted. I guess you could call him the villain so far, not the full-on villain, but just that kind of antagonist of the show right now. Uh, I don't think obviously he's not up to any good. I don't know what he wants the group for, where he's going to take them, where that Mexico is going to lead to them, but I hope they get back. The girl, the Alex on the boat with the burnt Jake, his name's Jake, I hope they do get back to Strand for doing that.
Okay, okay. Uh, basically, let's I guess we'll swing back. We'll just talk generally about the 3 episodes. So, so far this season, you know, I think there's a big improvement in Nick. I think Nick's a great character, especially with last night, how he actually learned out of nowhere, or you know, how to put the zombie guts over him. So you could tell he's going to be a survivor. He's not going to be one that's just going to die right off the rip. You know, I mean that's pretty good for him to learn that right away. Throw zombie guts on him, you know, and that was a really cool scene where he was up on the top and he was looking down and he saw the zombie get eaten by crabs, and then all of a sudden he slipped and then another one fell on top of him, and out of nowhere when they're fighting the zombies he's just whacking them out of nowhere. That was kind of crazy, but I liked it. I thought it was cool. A lot of people don't like Nick because I guess he's a drug addict, you know. But the one thing about the Fear of the Walking Dead that I like, you know, they're showing you like what he would be going through as a drug addict, you know, with the zombie apocalypse, you know. And I think that's kind of cool. I think his character will grow on people, and I think he's one of my favorites of this season, you know. What about you, Daniel? Frozen. What do you think of Nick? Do you think he's a good character?
Yeah, I like him. He's probably up there with some of the favorite characters. I like him. I like the daughter, the daughter of the Spanish guy. I don't like Travis. I think he's annoying.
Yeah,
I just feel like he's annoying and he's just there, and he's trying to be something he's not. I don't like him.
yeah, I could see Travis maybe getting. I don't know. I could see him maybe getting killed off eventually. You know, maybe like season 2 or end of season 3, but I don't know. You never know. They could turn him into a badass. You never know. They've done it with other characters. I mean, these characters are basically at their beginning stages. You never know what they're going to turn into. Obviously, right now we see what's his name? Chris. Chris is basically turning, a little demented, because of what happened to his mother. His mother had to get killed, and basically he flipped the fuck out. Basically you can tell he's kind of held a grudge against the walkers. Now he's kind of like tormenting them and killing them, because they killed his mother. I think he blames, it's true, they killed his mother, but he kind of holds, some kind of grudge against that. You can tell it's going to affect him mentally down the road. But Daniel, what do you think of let's ask this question. What character out of all these characters could you see being Rick? Like, I'm talking in like Rick's position, Negan's position, the governor's position. Who do you think's going to be like that type of leader?
Right.
Daniel.
For Rick wise, I'd have to say Travis. Because, the whole show, as it'll evolve in time, it's already been renewed for season 3. We're going to grow with these characters along the way, because there have been characters like in The Walking Dead that they weren't badasses in the beginning. Like Father Gabriel, no one liked him at first. Like, he was all just crappy and a wuss. And now look at him. He kills humans now, like sniping, like just shooting them. So Eugene manned up too. I mean, it took time to man up, but Travis, I see him becoming, because he's the older man there. I mean, I don't think Daniel could be Daniel Salazar. I don't think he could be Rick. He's more of like a Herschel side man, wisdom, like words of wisdom. But for Rick, I would say Travis. I'd like Travis to, because he's starting to grow a little beard going on. So if he just grows like a beard and wields a machete and all that, he could be the badass of the group, the main man leading them once Strand gets out of the way. But for like the villain wise, who could turn into a villain?
No, not a villain. Like, I'm just saying a leader. Like
a leader.
I don't think we're gonna see a villain from any of these characters other than maybe Strand. That could be. But if you look at the previews for next week, Strand supposedly is laying in the water, unless they're just making it look like that. Did you see the previews for next week?
Yeah.
Did you see how they, basically, Daniel said, we don't need Strand, and all of a sudden he's laying in the water, but I don't think that's Strand.
I think so. Just
think he's dead?
I mean, no, well, maybe he's just lying in the water because Chris went in the water. Nick was in the water, just floating around underwater. I mean, they could just be having a swim. I mean, they're not gonna kill him off like that. Obviously, they have to make it to Mexico and all that. But also for promotional purposes wise, I did know they did promotions like them lying in the water and everything. So either that's literally like a clip from the show, or that's just like a promotional look that they put in there. But who else can it be? Either it's one of those people that board the ship next week, or it's Strand. It can't be no one else.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just showing how they did the previews. They're like, we don't need Strand, and all of a sudden they showed him laying in the water. I'm sure maybe he gets knocked out and put in the water or something. I'm sure something bad happens how he ends up in the water, because he don't look like a guy who's going to take a swim. But who knows? I don't know. But I'm Frozen. Who do you think could be a leader?
I could see what's her name, the wife.
Damn it! You took mine. Damn it! That's the one I was going.
I could see her like she's over here trying to make decisions, trying to find out all the information and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I
agree totally. I think they're going to throw a little bit everybody off of that. There is rumors that she is alpha. She's going to be the whisperers. That's the rumors, but I see her as a leader. I'm with Frozen on that one, and I can see what Daniel's talking about with Travis. I would say Nick, but I don't know I think Nick's going to be like a Carl. I could see Nick as a Carl in a way, or maybe Nick might just be. He might be a leader. Who knows? But I don't see it. I'd say it's either between Madison and Travis. I think it's gonna be Madison. I think she's gonna. Did you see how when Strand said to her, "You're not a killer," and she just stared at him? You know, like
Mhm.
basically she's telling him, "You fuck with my family, you will see a killer." You know. Um,
Yeah.
but I think she's gonna be something big. You know. But basically, what do you guys think about Daniel? You know, do you think he's going to be a long-running character, or do you think he's going to be just a character that eventually gets, the axe
I,
frozen?
I could see him eventually getting killed off because he's like he's trying to be too nosy, too involved. Like he
Yeah.
needs to just stay where he is, stop trying to worry about everybody else. Like just worry about his daughter, like that. He's over here trying to do other stuff. He's breaking into crates, stuff
Do
like
you
that, finding guns on the ground, and then like he didn't even pay attention when Nick ran away. Like he was
do you
supposed to
think
watch them. He didn't even watch them.
he took that gun of Strand's?
I know he had it. I don't know what happened to it.
Mm-hmm.
He had it, right? Didn't he have the gun? Or he put it
I think
back?
so.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
you think he put it back?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought he kind of snagged it, but I don't know who. We'll find out most likely Sunday on that. Um, Going back to the second episode of episode 2 of season 2 of the Fear of the Walking Dead. What did you guys think of the family and everything, and them poisoning the little kid? That was That was a crazy scene, and she turned into a zombie, bit the mother. That was an awesome episode. What do you guys think, Daniel?
Yeah. With that second episode, I thought it was a great episode. It wasn't like perfect, but definitely seeing, we're not on the boat. We get off the boat, and finally, we're not in LA. We're not in the city streets where riots are happening. We're finally walking around, actually, maybe doing something on land, and meeting these people. It was interesting to see. The wife wants to leave and everything, and the kids were a little crazy to me actually because the kid had the dolls and had the red marks and everything, and Nick was looking at them and like the kid saying that's the neighbor and everything, and the kids were a little creepy to me where I thought like these are like future serial killers, but it definitely was it was interesting. I liked it a lot, especially there's this one scene in the episode where Travis and I think it's George, the father of the kids, where he's there and they're like working on the fence and everything, and he's like saying like I just want to survive, and Travis is saying that, and then like metaphorically George says, oh well, I'm just mending the fences, basically like he's literally doing it, but he's like like metaphorically also like doing it like I don't know, just in the apocalypse he's mending the fences basically and protecting his family. Great walker kills too with Chris doing his anger on those walkers. I thought that was awesome to see. Other than that, I mean, the whole kid dying, turning into a walker that quick, biting the mom, that was something interesting, man. That was shocking. Except they didn't show George's death, the dad. I don't know whether he's dead or not. I'm assuming he would have just got bit by the mom or his wife and died. But I really wanted the kid. I mean, kid's dead weight, obviously. Some people say it's true, but Strand wouldn't have let those guys, the kid and the brother on the boat. But I really think like leaving them on the docks basically to kill the mom and everything was kind of a, will we ever see them again basically, or will they survive? What will happen to them? I guess we'll see, or maybe we won't see. But I wasn't just a big fan of the ending where the guy comes in with a gun and takes his brother back, and I just wasn't a big fan of that. And he's waving at the end and all that. But other than that, I liked it because they're talking to other humans basically, and the dialogue, all that. So that's something that I like more than just a heavy action episode. It's more dialogue driven and a little more character development.
Yeah. I thought it was a pretty interesting episode. It showed how this guy's like, basically this family lived on this little island or whatever for so long, and basically the wife was basically, wanting to get her kids out there to give them a chance, and he's already planned on death for all of them. in a way. He wants them all. The dad wants everybody to die on the island. He believes in land. And it's interesting how he's telling them, Travis telling Travis how all these different areas are basically, no more. And it's just crazy. Like, you learn a little bit of what went on, around where the other Walking Dead takes place, around that area, like outside of that area. I just like how this one's telling stories of other stuff, which you're wondering about the whole thing. But I thought it was a cool scene with the kid became a walker, bit the mother's throat and all that. He was planning on poisoning, everybody, and Nick was looking for, he's a pill head, so he was looking for pills. And he knew that was like some kind of poison. But it was, and then the kid got into the poison. But it was pretty good. I like that episode. I mean, what do you think? Do you think so I was watching your review of last night's episode, Daniel. You feel that like last night's episode was a filler?
Wait, what was filler wise? Yeah, last week and yesterday was a filler. Not full on, like there's fillers like as in Arrow and Flash. You have those filler episodes where they're not facing Zoom or chasing Zoom. They're just facing an enemy for the week, like monster of the week sort of thing. Like this, it doesn't really progress the story. Episode 2 and episode 3, like last night's episode, we were like Travis and them are stuck on the boat. The boat's not moving. There's no progression there. And basically, when you think about it, they're just looking at suitcases on land, like last night's episode. That's not really progressing the story anywhere. It's sort of they're just in a standstill place. So it's a filler technically. It's not progressing any of the story whatsoever. We know he likes looking for pills. Chris obviously is going to, he has this big moment. There's big moments there, like Madison talking to Strand and learning about Mexico. That's the only thing basically that progressed the story a little bit. Which, mind you, I mean, it's not bad to have a few fillers, obviously. And it didn't. The last night's episode was really good. Last week's episode was great. Everything's going fine. But then again, there's nothing progressing with the story. Like next week looks like there'll people be boarding the boat and everything. I don't know whether that will progress the story even more, or it's just another waiting to get to Mexico, basically. Like that's basically. I don't know whether. I bet the mid-season finale will be getting to Mexico like in the next 6-7 episodes, maybe.
Yeah, I can see that happening. What about when going back to when Nick became a zombie? Did you see when he was like biting at the zombie, like feeling the zombie out, acting like a zombie?
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty interesting too.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I think Nick, I have high hopes for him.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, so you this whole season so far, you like where it's going? Do you think it's a big improvement from season 1? I mean, one thing I gotta say too, going back to how you think it's like filler, which I believe you're right on that, but these 2 seasons are going to be basically character development. They're focusing more on the characters and letting you get to know them more than I would say the story so much. I think it's more about the characters and learning, about them. I think we'll see more moving forward, like middle of the season.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be. I just have a feeling they're going to be on this boat for a little while. I just do.
Right.
I think they're going to have like some stops along the way, but I think there's going to be definitely those people that she was talking to on the what's her name, Alicia. Yeah. I think the one that she was talking to on the CB radio, we're going to see them soon, possibly next episode or the episode after that. I would say next episode. They're going to show up. Do you think we will see a villain this season? Like, here's another question. When do you think, what season do you think we're going to see, like, a governor, type villain? Frozen.
Probably end of season 3, maybe beginning of season 4, if they go that far.
Okay, so you think it's going to go that far before? Okay. What about you, Daniel?
Yeah, I would think season 3, but just I'm pretty sure it's going to be this season. Not enough like we're governor style, but Strand's already a minor little villain without being a full-on villain, just sort of that antagonist again. But when we get to Mexico, wherever we get where we're going, I feel like there's going to be somebody of a higher power there, or a group of people that, either it's going to be in Mexico, or it's going to be the boat that's following them that has like that big 50 cow or whatever that shredded up that other boat. That's going to be the main villain of the episode. Whether it leads on to season 3, I doubt it. It'll probably just end there, but of course there'll be a villain in season 3 or so. But I say this season we'll have somewhat of a villain.
So you think Strand is going to be a bad? You don't think he has no good intentions of what he's doing?
No, I mean, yeah, he does, but like I said, he's not like a full-on villain, but he's sort of like an obstacle in the way where, he's not a man to be trusted, really.
Okay, I mean, I don't know. I think he might surprise some people. He might be trying to do something good. I don't know. He definitely isn't trusting nobody on the outside, and I think that's smart. Like he's
Mhm.
not. When he seen that girl, basically Alicia was talking to those people, he cuts that real quick. He's like, get the hell off the CB. Like, what are you doing?
Mhm.
I don't think he's as bad as everybody thinks. I just think they're kind of making it look like that. I think when we get to the island, you might have some bad people that are over him, like you're saying. I
Mhm.
don't think he's necessarily as bad as we think, but you never know. Um, Going back to Daniel's relative, what is she, a sister or a daughter of his? The one that's big or something. Something's up with her. She got some kind of wound going on. What is
That's the
that?
daughter.
What is that?
Shot? Not sure.
Okay, so she was shot. I forgot what happened to her.
I don't exactly remember.
Yeah, that's what I was wanting to ask you guys. 'Cause I don't remember what happened to her. I thought maybe she got bit or something. I didn't know.
No, it was in season 1
Oh, it was in season
when,
one.
yeah, I think when they were like escaping that military facility, she got shot.
Oh, okay, okay. So she was. I thought something happened to her at the end of like last season. I just couldn't remember. What do you think of her character? Do you think she's a good character or Frozen?
I could see her like eventually like how Andrea is. She could kind of move up like her.
I see. Do you see a little romance between her and Nick?
I don't know. I would have been surprised if he would have gave her those pills instead of that rosary. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but he didn't know because I know Chico was looking for pills, and like he kind of knows all the pills. So it would have been kind of funny if he like gave her the pills.
Okay, okay. What about you, Daniel? What do you
Mhm.
think of
Ophelia?
Ophelia? Is that her name?
Yeah, Ophelia. Yeah, we haven't seen much of her this season, obviously. Maybe in total screen time, possibly 3 minutes at most over the past 3 weeks. 3, 4 minutes at most. But they're probably saving her for something more big. I do feel like we're gonna lose Daniel this season, later in the season. I don't want to lose him, but I don't. Ophelia has bigger plans. I think they have bigger plans for her over the next few weeks or by the end of the season. But I like her character. I have nothing against her character. She's interesting. I could see her with Nick or whoever they find in Mexico. But I feel like Daniel and her will end up leaving the group maybe because they do have plans on leaving. They don't plan on being with the group forever. So we'll see where that goes.
Do you think there's any type of transformation down the road for Alicia?
Alicia, yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Alicia. Obviously, I state that in my reviews sometimes that sometimes she just pisses me off, like just the way that she does some things. Um, I mean, yeah, I could see. I don't see her, Chris, or Nick dying anytime soon. Those are like the three main. Besides Travis and Madison, those are like the safe for now. So Alicia, yeah, they'll build her character up. I don't. Yeah, she was fighting the walkers. I think in the episode where I don't think she was afraid. She was hitting them, and she defended herself pretty good. So I think she could be a future, badass. Not like Carol or Maggie, but she'll be a future badass walker killer.
Okay, okay. What about you, Frozen? Do you see any future transformation for Alicia?
I agree. Like the same because she's like a kid, so I could see her, kind of like moving up like Carl. Like if she starts shooting people and stuff, like she learns how to shoot and all that, I could see her kind of like being like a Carl on the show.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I think they're gonna do more with her. I think you just gotta give it time. Um, but yeah, so far so good. I mean, I think it's I think him they're gonna do stuff with Travis. They're definitely gonna probably do something with him. I'm not a big fan of Travis, but they are. I think Nick and Madison so far are my favorite, characters. I don't mind Strand. I think he's kind of interesting. But yeah, I mean, so far so good. The whole show. I think it's a lot better than I expected. At first I had mixed feelings about this show last season, but it is picking up to where it's actually really good. It's giving you another side of The Walking Dead, like the whole thing before it happened. And I like that. We in the other one we woke up with Rick after it was already in motion. Do you ever see this show connecting to the other Walking Dead, like them eventually running into Rick or Negan, or whatever? Do you ever see that happening? Frozen.
Oh yeah, eventually.
Mhm. What about you, Daniel?
Yeah, one day, of course, The Walking Dead, Morales in season one, that one of the Hispanic or Mexican families left, which is the Morales family. Possibly they could make their way to wherever they're going. I don't think they were heading anywhere near Mexico or whatsoever, but I'm just saying since Morales hasn't been shown, they could meet up with them or meet a link to season one, but not anytime soon. But it would be awesome to see Travis or the remaining Chris, Nick meeting Rick and all them. But I mean, they're too far. I mean, they're people. They're going to Mexico, and the other ones are in Georgia. So it'd take 6, 7 seasons or 8 seasons to even get to that. So I would say probably not ever going to happen. But I'd love to see it. So yeah.
Okay. Any more of The Walking Dead that you want to talk about? Any things that you want to cover that has happened, Daniel?
Other than well, other than them getting renewed for season three, which is awesome. I believe it's going to be 16 episodes season three. This season two is going to have 15 episodes, so 15 and then 16 next year. And of course, the mid-season finale is going to end on a cliffhanger. They've already confirmed that. So that's another thing.
Season 2 is going to end up on a cliffhanger?
Yeah, the mid-season finale when they in the
Okay.
middle.
Okay.
But yeah, and then Walking Dead season 7 starts filming either this week or next week. So yeah.
Okay. What about anything else you got, Frozen?
Um, Possible rumor the Inhumans movie might be canceled because of I guess they're trying to do a deal, trying to get the mutants, to try to get that whole thing going on with Fox. That Inhumans movie. Remember that Inhumans movie? That's supposedly the last one in Phase 3 that might be canceled. And I
Oh,
think Guardian of the Galaxy 3 has been confirmed for Phase 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of superhero movies coming out. I mean, and the new Conjuring trailer was pretty cool. There's a lot of stuff coming. Next time we do a movie Tweaker podcast, it'll be more based on movies. This was more of like TV shows. We will cover Fear of the Walking Dead, but we're gonna do
Mm-hmm.
like more of a mixture. Just I want to watch Bates Motel tonight. I thought this was a great podcast. I enjoyed it a lot. You know, glad we got to talk about Flash and Arrow, and, Fear of the Walking Dead. And, thank you, Daniel, for joining as always.
Yep. It's always a pleasure.
Yep. And thank you, Frozen Magma, for joining
Oh,
as always.
no problem. Glad to be here.
And next Monday we should be back. You know, hopefully everybody will be here, and we'll discuss more about the next episode, Sunday night's episode of Fear of the Walking Dead. I think you said Flash is on this week, and Arrow's not, right?
Right.
Arrow's
It
still on
is.
break, so it's Flash this
Wednesday.
week. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Later.
Flash tomorrow.
Okay, Flash. Okay. Later, YouTube. Thanks for watching.